Hello friends, Anand here. Today I'm going to try the the React Native um, for native iOS as well as for the Android application. So React Native is a JavaScript framework released by the Facebook to build very beautiful mobile apps for the iOS plus Android. So this is one of the frameworks like Ionic framework as well as the PhoneGap. So the difference between these two are like Ionic framework written in AngularJS, so you can use AngularJS, and PhoneGap is like plain old HTML and JavaScript. So both are based on Cordova, but the thing is, using these two frameworks, you will run a web application on your mobile as a like a replica of a mobile application. The performance is a little bit slow compared to React Native. So Native is faster than these two frameworks. And then if you go to the React Native official site, you'll know how to install React Native as well as how to create your very first project. So in this tutorial, I'm just gonna show you like a very basic creation of a React Native application. So there is one limitation with React Native. If you want to build your mobile app for both iOS and Android, you need a MacBook, because to build a mobile app for iOS, you cannot build it on a Linux or a Windows machine. You need a MacBook to build it, because the tool used to build the iOS mobile apps called Xcode. So Xcode can only install in Mac OS, not in any other uh, OSs. So you need to have a MacBook to develop mobile apps for both the mobile OS. Otherwise, you can simply go with the Get Started. So there are two options. One is the Quick Start. The other one is building projects with native code. So my development OS is Mac OS, and my target is both Android as well as iOS. Uh, so so in order to do that, these are the prerequisites you need to do. Like, if you are building in a MacBook, so you need to install the Node and then Watchman. So we are using Brew. So in order to run these commands, first you need to install the Homebrew on your MacBook. So I already downloaded and installed all these stuff in my computer. So let's start. And if you don't want to do all this stuff, you can simply download the Create React Native app npm package, and then you can simply create it, and then you can simply start it. And then there is a client called Expo. Just need to download this Expo client on your mobile phone. So once you download it, you can scan the QR code, and then you can do it. Okay, let's start our very first React Native application. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna open my terminal. So before starting it, let me check my npm version. Make sure you install the npm. React Native suggests to use 4. I think recently they are supporting 5 also. I'm going with 4.x version. And then as well as, please check you have installed the Node.js on your computer. I have installed Node. And then you need to install this npm package called React Native Client. So you can see a difference over here between the quick start and the uh, building project. So in quick start, you will see create React Native app. But in the build project, you can see build project for native OS. You can see React Native Client. I'm going to use this React Native Client. So let me install this guy globally. So in order to do that, you need to run using sudo, otherwise we would get a permission exception. Okay, we have installed it. So let me run the React Native CLI, and then to create a project, init parameter, you need to pass two parameters. One is first parameter is init to create a project. The second is your project name. So I'm going to name it as Bitcoin. Interesting. Okay, sorry, I missed this one. I missed the npm. npm dimension now. No, that's npm, just this one. Oh, React Native CLI init. This is interesting. I don't know why I'm getting this issue. Let me check whether I'm using the right command or not. React Native init. Yeah, the same command. React Native init Bitcoin. Okay, I think some typo. Sorry for that. So as I said, you can download this guy as well. So make sure you have installed the Android Studio on your MacBook. I already installed the Android Studio, and I also already launched the Android emulator. Um, you know, so you can see over here. You can also download the Expo client on your machine. Play Store. Snow Play Store. Don't see the Play Store anyway. So this guy I already installed it. So let me uninstall this one so that we will have the fresh new project. So I'm going to install this Bitcoin from my Android emulator, and then so that we will reinstall it. Okay, so it's still downloading. Okay, it's downloaded. So you can see over here, if you want to run the created application on your iOS emulator, you need to run this command. Otherwise, you can run this command to run it on my Android emulator. So I'm going to run both the stuff. So before that, let me show you the project structure first. Okay. Open the created Bitcoin over here. So you can see there are two folders. One is for the Android related folders. You can see the native Android project. So you can see the Android manifest. So if you want to do some tweak for your Android related application, you can do it over here. And the other project called iOS, where you can see iOS related stuffs over here. But our main stuff for the React Native, the index.js is the launching point, like index.html. So you can see this is our root component called app from app. So app is nothing but this JS, and then we have named our project name as Bitcoin. So you can see like a strange syntax over here. This is the ES 2015 syntax. So it's like a new standards for JavaScripts. So the very reason for this is really like a, like it has like a lot of cool features. So if you want to learn more about ES 2015. There are some courses in Code School as well as for egg.io, so you can learn the ES 2015 if you want to learn more about ES 2015 over here. Anyway, so let's come over here, and then if you open the app.js, so we need these stuff, you know, in order to run your application as React. So React from React component, and then these are the uh, components we need from the React Native bundle. So you can see over here there is a platform component. So platform component is to handle some stuff. Uh, so it's not like iOS and Android will behave same. So iOS behave in a different manner and Android behave in a different manner. So if you want to do some stuff, if you want to handle some stuff, so you can see over here, if the application installed in an iOS, then only this particular stuff will be loaded, and then it will assign to the instruction constant, and then only this guy will be loaded over here. If the OS is Android, then this specific description will be assigned to the instruction constant, and then that specific stuff will be loaded over here. Okay, so we have built it, and then let's see what will happen. And you can see this is the JSX, the JavaScript XML built by Facebook. So this is like a platform. Um, this is not like a HTML. This is HTML like JavaScript. Then you can see over here some styles. So this is the styles we have defined. So styles.container, and you can go through all this stuff from the docs. But anyway, so let's run our first app. Let me go inside the Bitcoin, and then I need to run React Native, run iOS, and then let me open another command prompt, and then let me run for Android. So you can see my iOS emulator is being launched. Open a new tab. Okay, I'm already there in the Bitcoin. So let me run React Native, run Android. So to execute this command, make sure you have already started the Android emulator on your machine. So it's loading the bundles. Let's see, in my iOS, still loading. Then Android. Okay, I think Android is failed because it's unable to find the Android home STK location. So what I had to do here is I need to create a local.properties under the Android folder, and then I need to assign a property key value called stk.dir. So let me open that. Let me create it. So this is my Android. Then let me create a new file called local.properties. Then stk.dir equal to. So if you want to find the SDK path, you just launch your Android Studio, and then under tools, Android SDK manager. Okay, so you'll see this is the SDK location. Just copy this guy and then paste it over into this location. That's it. So I just saved it, and now let's rerun the Android. Let's see what happened to iOS. iOS is still launching. So this time I think Android is building. There is no issue with the Android. So Android is installing and building stuff. And iOS is still running. That's really interesting. Let's see what's happening. Okay, I think this app is already there. Powered by React Native. Maybe that's why. Okay, I think it's loading. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's installed, and then it's trying to download the packages. Cool. So our application is successfully loaded into the iOS simulator. You can see welcome to React. Then you can also see over here, this is a React native launcher, and then same stuff is installing in the Android OS as well. Okay, so the build is successful. The APK Android package is installed into the Android device, but the thing is, it unable to start the ADB, which is the virtual emulator. But I already started manually, so we just need to download. Sorry, we just need to launch that application. So Bitcoin, this is our application. And it's loading again. And then you can see over here, there are two bundling. One is for the iOS and one is for the Android. Here we go. So you can see, as I mentioned, this is the iOS. So that's why we see press command R to reload. And then this is Android. That's why we see double tap R on your keyboard. So as I mentioned, this is the cool feature for the platform. So based on the OS, we will see some stuff. Okay, so let me do some changes in this. Welcome to React Native. So let me change to welcome Anand Babu DH, and then let me save it. Let's see what's gonna happen. And then I need to press the command R to reload. So you can see welcome to Anand DH. And then in the emulator, I need to tap R on the keyboard. So keyboard, this is interesting. I need to find the keyboard actually. Okay, double tap, just double tap, but it didn't work anything. Sensor setting. Let me do one thing. Let me close this guy and then let me reopen this guy. don't know what happened for Android. Directional pad. Let me see. Double tap or Android not working. This is some kind of stuff. Command M. Okay, let's try that one. Command M. Okay, here we go. Reload. Cool. Here we go. So yeah, so I think we have did some stuff on your very first application. You can see over here. Let me try one more time so that we can conclude this. Let's build an app. react.js. Then oops. And okay, you can see over here, and then the same stuff over here. And then reload. That's it. So yeah, so we built our very first React Native application on both Android and iOS. So thank you very much for watching.